plans, like hitting both pawns. So I'm not sure. I don't think Magnus can play this move just yet. Because after trade, knight comes in, we're hitting 2 pawns, right?
No, you're hitting just the b5.
Oh, I'm sorry.
F7 is...
Yeah. You know what? I was used to the rook being here. I was like, oh, we have this attack 3 times. No, the rook is here. You're right. So actually b5 is a possibility already.
Yeah. But what after like takes 6, like what you said, knight d6, how to protect this pawn?
How to protect the b pawn? I mean,
you just play rook b8 or b4?
Or b4. Yeah, like, okay, so as an example, let's like pass the turn for white. Let's play this move. b5, pawn takes, and to answer the question, how do we guard this pawn?
I think if you play b4, then I can just play bishop b3 back, right?
Yes. I mean...
Or takes first and then bishop b3.
Yeah, something like that, and come back, attack this pawn, and...
And that is a very...
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very strong bishop.
Yeah, it's a little passive. Like overall, like playing like this is just passive with this knight. Yeah. So.
Praag did something.
Okay.
G4.
He played G4. Okay. Wow. That move is very committal.
It is. Yeah.
You know, I mean, pawns don't move backwards. Once you commit it here, like the obvious square that becomes weak is f4. Magnus might be very happy to see that move because now if the knight comes out, he attacks the pawn. And obviously if the pawn moves forward, he gets to go to that outpost. So Praag must be planning on knight here. He must be planning to defend this pawn in some other way.
H3?
H3, right? But then he kind of, okay, Magnus did something different.
F6.
Oh, wow. He really played f6, huh?
Oh, I think I know. You just want to reroute your knight to g6 and f4. So knight f8, knight g6, and knight f4.
But what is this knight going to do? I was hoping that he would finally do something for that knight. Like, this knight was not like... I mean, it's a nice square, for sure. Sorry, but... oh, rook g2 is on the board. Rook g2 is played by... Praag, and is he trying to prepare g5?
Oh yeah, that's true, because you cannot play g5 now, knight e3 and then f5.
Okay, this was quite strange to me. Like I feel like this knight is being mistreated. Locked up in the corner on g8 for a little bit too long. All right, so white wants to go g5, break up those pawns. I mean, I don't know if g5 is like a huge threat. Maybe he wants to go, but I mean, that seems to be what rook g2 is showing us, right? All right, so Magnus, now they're under 4 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to be because this is still pretty much a 3-result game. And after g5, and you're undermining this e5.
So maybe my knight needs to come out and try to go to f7. If you go here, can I go to knight f7? Or am I just...
takes and then rook g1.
Yeah, and then I was going to like defend my pawn with knight h8 or something. Or... That looks pretty ugly. But, I mean, was this kind of holding... I mean, the knight was on g8. It's kind of funny to put on h8. But we might be, like, getting a little too passive, right, as these pawns.
And knight d6 coming. And...
Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, you can't even do that because knight d6, knight f5 wins. Okay, well, there could be a better move than knight h8, maybe g5. Because if you go here, there's rook h8.
Yeah, but then, you can just play knight e3, knight f5.
Yeah, weakening those squares, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so he played, what did he play?
He did play knight h6.
Knight h6.
Yeah, knight h6 is on the board. And after g5, well, you know what? Perhaps he should take, and then maybe play knight f7. At least he gets a tempo like that. That's better than playing knight f7 right away. Yeah, it's definitely... It's basically like an extra tempo.
Yep.
So if g5, we take first, then we go knight f7.
And then rook's going to go back to...
g3.
g3 or
then
g2.
How do we get ready for this move, or is it still not a big deal?
And there is also rook e6.
Right, you also have this way of guarding. So everything still seems okay for him.
So Magnus
this is happening.
And then
rook takes g5 on the board, and knight f7. Okay. So... You know, there's still tension in this game. Nothing has been decided. I mean, but basically, it seems equal. That's the point, right? Like now, you know, both sides, basically, it's been good for Praag that the G pawn got traded for the F pawn. We should say that because, you know, he traded off a more centralized pawn. now both sides have this isolated pawn. This knight is pretty good. I mean, white's rooks have always been quite good. So it's balanced.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So rook a6 is on the board, trying to prepare for this rook g1 idea. And now it's time for black letter to move around with the knight. But yeah, I like to put this bishop on d1 actually.
Yeah, how do we improve the black knights? Like, how do we improve this knight? It's not easy. Like, putting him there, I mean, he was just there, so it doesn't do anything. You can't, going there, trading for the white knight? What do you think? Or is there going to be too many problems on the d file to do that?
You might be able to do that, but yes, I think if you exchange the knight with the other knight, it will be better for black. So yeah, I think black can totally do that. Knight d6. If you play rook d1, just take.
But
there's bishop b3.
Yeah, and also like my rook just seems very active.
Bishop b3.
I don't know. I mean, that's the question for me. Is a big question. Is like what black is doing with these knights. They're not so bad, but like, you want to try to make progress with them. The other big question for me, like, is this still an idea? Should we get rid of this knight so we can finally move this rook? That's another big one. So right now, Praag is on the move. He's been thinking for over a minute.
Yeah.
He's under 2 minutes now.
Yeah, he's under 2 minutes. So this is already
dangerous situation to be in against Carlsen, giving up that more than 1 minute advantage.
Right. But also the position is not easy, so that's why.
It's a tricky position for both sides, absolutely.
So he put rook d2.
Okay. So he gets off the g-pawn and starts to target the knight. Very logical.
Rook f6.
Yeah, Magnus. And it's amazing how fast he is, right? Like, how did he see this move so quickly? Okay, I mean, there's lots of things that you could do, but he just activates the rook and basically challenges, uses the tempo on this rook. That was instant. But I guess he was thinking. Yeah, he was thinking during Praag's time.
I mean, also rook d2 is kind of natural. You just want to keep attacking some of the pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, this game... Okay, make a prediction.
Make a prediction? I don't know. I'm going to predict a draw. That's a safe prediction.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, like, when you get down to a minute, absolutely anything can happen. So I want our viewers to understand that, like, the time situation that Praag is in is unpleasant. Magnus having 3 minutes against less than 1 minute. I mean, okay. I mean, Magnus can also win, but right now he's not winning on the board. But actually, maybe Magnus winning is not a bad prediction either, just because of the time situation.
Yeah, so, well, the position is still equal, but yeah, judging from the time situation, Magnus is in a very good favor.
Yeah, no, he seems to have like transitioned to this blitz mode pretty easily, but right now his position is balanced. Does he really have much to work with here? Not really. I mean, white doesn't really have any big problems, right? I guess, we might want to put that pawn up to a5. White has control over the d file. You can't really move this knight. Can't really move this knight anywhere. So everything is under control in the position.
Yep.
So I say, okay, I mean, objectively, like a draw is the result that we're going to see. And Praag's 10-second increment should be enough for him to hold this, right?
Yeah.
Hold this balanced.
I think so too, yeah. It would be very hard to reroute these two knights because the knight on c4 is standing very strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the B.
Should we just try b5? I mean, I'm thinking b5. Okay, Carlsen went here, but b5, maybe this was a problem. Then
and then a5.
Yeah, and then you get to have a pass pawn. Okay. Carlsen went knight, king f8. Very kind of interesting move, trying to bring the king to protect these important squares on the d file. Yeah, that's a nice looking move. What's Praag gonna do here?
Yeah, very solid and principled as well. You just want to bring your king in the end game.
It's quite smart. Yes. Okay, so maybe Praag will go knight b6, and then Magnus maybe is gonna go for the trade, but
king g2.
King g2. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like, when I see moves like king f8, king e7, I'm starting to see Magnus's concept here and like how things could be a little bit unpleasant. But a5 is a good move.
a5 is a good move.
Yeah.
And I mean, so far, white has a better position on the queen side. So maybe, yeah, Praag is just using that fact. So rook h1, trying to tie down the king to its position.
The king here is excellent, right? Like these squares are guarded. Black has hopes of finally using these knights, finally. One day, right?
Yeah.
that can actually move. I mean, okay, we can see that this is unpleasant. Praag is under 20 seconds.
Yeah. Praag has to play faster now.
I think Magnus has just transitioned way better to like the fact that this is going down to blitz. You know, because you see how he just speeded up, right? And he continues to play fast, and he's just kind of, you know, seizing the initiative here, right? Like right now, exactly. The knight came in. Now there's a fork threatened, and King
King has
G1.
to move again. Yes. Yeah. Well, I think it's because black has a clear idea on what to do in this position compared to whites. And yeah, we see it now. It's gonna be very, very like in a blitz mode. Like
Okay, Prague's rook is under attack. He has to move it away. He moved to d2, rook h3. Like, look how fast Magnus is playing his moves. He just doesn't even want to give him a chance to breathe, actually. That's what I mean. Like, he could take a bit of time on these moves. I guess this one is fairly obvious. He wants to kind of use the third rank, maybe have ideas of rook c3. a6, what is that? Why is he doing that? Why did he just do that?
Did he just give up the pawn?
He did. He just gave up a pawn, and I'm not sure why. I have no idea why that move just happened. Okay, because he wants to get this pawn. But the thing is, like, first of all,
there's rook c3.
There's rook c3. That's one idea. And also in this position, there's also ideas of even the knight coming in with all those fork threats. So I don't know.
This is too loose. I mean, like, it's not a position when you're sacrificing a pawn, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Magnus went for knight g5 was stronger, but Magnus went for this. Knight a5, and now knight g5. Yep, played instantly. Now the knights are coming in. Look at those beautiful knights.
Wow.
Look at that attack coming in.
Right, and the king is in the
situation.
net. Yeah.
He was merciless in this part. Did you feel that?
Yeah,
I mean, did you feel like how he just went on the attack and he started playing so confidently? He knew he had to use Prague's clock against him. All right. So now, what do we do? Black is still up a pawn. I mean, I don't know. This is obviously still a nice advantage for him, but maybe it's not the most, I mean, it's incisive. He might want to take a little bit of time here.
Yeah, I think he would like
this
to,
is still
to
a
keep
very
the rook on the
good
board.
move, right? Like this is still, I mean, chances to win, I guess, are pretty good here. I mean, he's just up a pawn. You'd think that he has like excellent chances to win this position. Yeah, but he went for something more incisive.
Yeah, I think he would like to keep the rook on the board.
Yeah, he went for knight g to h3. Is he going on the attack? So we probably have to go here.
King f1, rook f3.
Yeah, are there checkmate threats like on the back rank? There kind of are, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's like rook a3, rook
yeah.
a3, and there's a checkmate threat with rook a4. And also, this is incredibly a back rank checkmate.
Yeah, it is.
It is, because the king is completely limited by the knights. Oh, man.
Wow, and Prague just doesn't have time to think about everything.
Yeah, that's checkmate on the back. So, that's a check. No, hold on, he took with the knight.
It's a check. King f6,
King f6,
and
wow.
that's it. Wow, so Magnus won the first game. And in a completely equal position. And
but that was so good. That was so good.
Very
you have to appreciate, you know, when you see this live, it's such a different experience from just watching, downloading the game afterwards and seeing the moves, right? Because you see, like it feels like it was easy, but it wasn't that easy. There were so many masterful things that he had to do to win this end game.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Prague has